Alright, let's go and get this little part down here and then some of these others here. The values we're gonna start out with, I just want to hit this back one here. The tan color that we have, that's the next one down. And that's what I wanted to use on the shadow side right back here. As it comes in. Just a little bit of a streak of it. Now it's going to start to mix in with the black, and that's okay. In fact, probably preferred on that. So now I have the placement there. I'm going to take this, I'm going to clean it off a little bit, and then it's a little bit strong. If I just paint over it lightly like that, it'll start to blend in a little bit with the black. It'll mute it down a little bit like that. So it's just a real subtle tan value here. A little bit of reflected light comes back there and highlights that because they're two different surfaces on that one. The next thing I wanted to do is we're going to get some gray on this one. The front side on this is gray and orange on that, but I wanted to hit the grayish color first. Let's go ahead and load that up. So the gray orange, and down over here is where I want to hit some of that. I'm just going to take it around here too. And it's going to come up. The darker value here, so I'm just going to have a little bit of it on the side like that, and it is kind of lost and found here. So it's like, what I mean by that is we have some of it right here, then we lose it, and then we pick it up maybe right here, and then back up here we lose it, and then we pick it up pretty heavy right here in the bottom part of the spout. Liking that. And then we have some of it here also on this portion. I'm going to do more back over top here. So just right here, a little bit of that grayish color. And just use the corner of your brush, maybe the edge of your brush, to get a little bit of that in there. And so that's a little bit of that one. Since this is a smaller area, I'm just going to jump into finishing off some of that. The next one I wanted to put in there was, let's go light orange. I've cleaned off my brush, and I got to get some of the stuff there. I want some sticky spots there. So this is the light orange, not the medium orange, but the light orange on those. And we need some of that right next to the gray. As we're coming around here like that. And we're going to hit some white in there as well, but down at the bottom here we had that gray. We need to have a little bit of orange right next to it. And so light orange is going to come right in here. And then on this side, picked up a little bit of black. Sometimes when the paints are still wet, you pick up a little bit of that other value in there. Okay, looks like down in here. This is corner of the brush, like that. I'm looking around. Looks like the rest is going to be probably a white as we're going in there, and so we have just the little bits of the orange and the gray. Let's clean that off. And let's go for some white. Load my brush some white, get it so it's kind of, that helps take out some of that other color too. Okay, Okay, and so little bits of white. So right here on the lip, a dab of white. And then up over here, again with the edge of the brush or the corner of the brush, either one will work. A little bit of white. Flip it right back over here. The white paint that we have here is a slightly different, I don't know, texture, color than the gesso, so you do need to hit it with that white on there because it's different on that. And then over here on this part, I'm going to take the white right along here. And if we get some streaks, like if all of a sudden that white streaks into some of the orange, that's fine. That's perfect, actually, is what we want. A little bit of a blend or something as we go along here. And then bring it right up to the edge, right there. Let's get it streaking right through here a little bit. And just pulling little bits of the paint, you kind of see that it's making a streak or a blend of some of that. And that's perfect. Just I'm going to streak up into here a little bit, flip my brush over. Like that. And so now we have highlights and the areas on this front side here as our light sources coming in here. That should do the trick. Oops, whoa. Had black on that one. Let's get a little more, get a gob of white. I don't want that to go that dark. And then just a little bit. And then we can also utilize this when we come in here and we do the background area in here. That's going to define up these edges a little bit more sharp, and we'll be ready to go. And so there's the spout.